Social media has caused an epidemic of rampant overconsumption and idealizing wastefulness. Tell me something. The last time you scrolled for 3 hours on your phone, how did you feel afterwards? Were you feeling mildly discontent? Were you feeling the urge to go and buy some things to try to fill the hole that you were suddenly feeling? Did you feel like your brain was rotting a little bit and a little discontent with your life, and maybe you had the urge to go and fill the void with buying some of the things that you saw some of those successful few people have to try to make your life brighter, happier, better? I think this is a hard thing to hear, but we cannot keep going at this pace. We are going to chase expressing our uniqueness and finding coziness until we do not have food anymore because the crops are failing and we no longer have the essentials to stay alive. Am I crazy for thinking this? I don't think so. Go talk to any environmental expert out there and they're scared. The path we are on right now is not sustainable in the actual meaning of the word. Like, the earth cannot sustain the pace at which we are consuming for much longer. And the rates of consumption, plastic production, fossil fuel usage is just growing exponentially. They are just projected to keep going up somehow. This is a problem and we do have to make changes. So, what is de-influencing? It's the act of making you realize what you have is enough. It's meant to encourage you to be content with the products you already have, the home you currently live in, and make you understand your life is beautiful as it is. There's no need to buy the next new thing because why would you? It's often just a waste of money and a wasteful piece of junk. Here's an example of de-influencing. Let me take a moment and bring everybody back down to reality. It is not normal to have a storefront of products in your pantry. It is not normal to be doing weekly or even monthly clothing hauls. It is not normal to be dumping out your cereal and have your fridge and your pantry perfectly organized. It is not normal to be spending hundreds on skincare or designer clothes. It is not normal to be going on these elaborate, fancy, expensive trips every single year. There is no product out there that's going to change your life. That is going to come from being within yourself and taking the time to make the changes that you need to do. Don't buy anything from an influencer, ever. They are promoting something that they typically got for free and they make money by selling it. If you see something you like, genuinely do the research, figure out if you wanted that thing before you saw that influencer marketing it. Ask yourself if it's a well-made thing. Wait a while before you buy it. Have a whole slew of questions that you ask yourself before you go out and purchase it with your hard-earned money. Chances are you're going to be just as happy with it as you are without it. And just so we're all aware, most of us do not have a decked out separate playroom and a separate office and a walk-in pantry and a walk-in closet. Like, it's amazing if you do have all those things. Like, I'm so happy for you. But don't feel like your home is less than just because the few seconds that you see of somebody's life online, it looks perfect and amazing and you don't have that. Look around at your house and think about the things that you do love about it. Is it warm? Is it cozy? Is it functional? Is it the place that you love being in at the end of the day? Learn to separate the product from the result. Buying a new set of leggings and a sports bra is not going to magically make you fit. Going to the gym will. Diet pills and protein powders are not going to magically make you lose weight. Addressing the root cause will. Skincare and makeup is not going to make you feel more beautiful in your body. Honestly, a lot of the times I feel like it has the opposite effect. Supplements and the newest trends in wellness are not going to make you magically more healthy when you are eating coffee for breakfast and bars for lunch. When did we accept becoming such a throwaway culture? When did we accept that we have no connection to our food or even basic knowledge about how it's grown or where it comes from? When did we allow companies to add ingredients that are linked to causing cancer and fertility issues in our home goods and our cleaning products? Why did we decide that having nice cars and a fancy home and the newest gear was more important than things like community, working with our hands, gaining new skill and knowledge, and being in nature? So the next question is de-influencing a trend or is it something else? I am hoping that it's a movement. A trend is a general direction or tendency that is already taking place and it usually only lasts a few weeks. A movement is a group of people that is working long term to affect change. They have goals. If the term de-influencing is a trend, I hope that the deeper rooted meaning of sustainability, of viewing hauls as something that is unattainable and kind of gross, of encouraging a lifestyle of not being so wasteful, buying what you need and using it up, in efforts not only to save money but also to save the planet. I hope that that movement is here to stay. I have noticed a huge tone shift online. It's already started. Look at some very popular things on social media that are taking root. De-influencing videos sweep through and have thousands of comments saying that people want more of this. Everyone is tired of the traditional influencer, the one showing nothing but excess that the majority can't have. It's frustrating and honestly pretty disgusting. People are waking up to the fact that overconsumption is not it anymore. Influencers are getting a ton of negative feedback about how wasteful and unrelatable they're being when they book completely unnecessary medical scans for their entire bodies, or they're taking private jets to these exotic remote islands, or when they have mountains and towers of boxes at their front door every single morning from companies like Shein and Temu and Amazon. This change of opinion will have such a greater impact than we can even imagine. It's already starting. Companies, even though it is a lot of greenwashing a lot of times, they are making steps to offer more eco-friendly options because we are demanding it and we are showing that we're willing to pay for it with our own dollar bills. So let's take that and then demand even more. Let's call them out and expect better. Let's demand these large corporations to do their part in cleaning up the ecosystems they destroy, to find cleaner alternatives to their methods, to stop polluting our land and using up all of our water. I also see a huge return to the basics. It makes me so happy to see people waking up to the fact that a lot of the food in our grocery stores is food-like products. To see everyone asking questions, to see people realize that we should not have strawberries and avocados in our grocery stores all year round. I also love to see people relearning skills that have somehow been lost in just a few generations. Things like mending, sewing, canning, foraging, pickling, cooking from scratch. There's a huge rush to learn where our food comes from and how we can have more control. We're starting to demand non-toxic products. The more we demand it, the more things will keep shifting in the right direction. I also just believe in humans. Like, I know it can feel impossible, especially right now, but there just needs to be a shift in where we're heading. Really smart people are working very hard to figure some things out. We still have time to put in protective legislation. And then there's the power of voting with our dollar bills. We have been sold the narrative for such a long time that we as an individual we can't make a difference. And I definitely think that is kind of true. If I did everything in my power, every ounce of my energy and time and everything went into trying to be the most sustainable person out there, it wouldn't make a difference. But if I live as sustainably as warranted and possible, and I show everybody around me by example and education, I think it can have a massive ripple effect. If I encourage my friends and family to start composting, which leads to them recycling, which leads to them not using as many plastic bags, which leads to them questioning why their clothes are made out of plastic and polyester, and then they go out and have these conversations with all of their friends and family. It spreads and it's powerful. I know it can all feel very overwhelming, and it is much easier to just check out and tune it out. But start with one thing. Pick out one thing that you can do. Whether that's not using the plastic bags from the grocery store, or picking up a book about foraging, or getting takeout one less time a week, or boycotting companies like Shein and Temu. Whatever sparks your interest, start with that. Maybe follow a couple accounts on Instagram to keep your interests active and letting it keep inspire you. What do you think? Are you scared? Am I being too overreactive? Do you think we have the power to make a difference? Should we leave it all for the politicians and the corporations out there to deal with? There are so many conversations about this, but I think the most important thing we can do right now is to just keep talking about it.